During a heavy rainstorm last week, a wet cat came at a man's doorstep. She meowed loudly, clearly asking for shelter from the pouring rain. Without hesitation, he opened his door and welcomed her inside his warm home. He carefully dried her wet fur with a soft towel, making sure she felt comfortable and safe. Once the cat was dry, the man offered her some food, which she eagerly ate, showing how hungry she had been. The cat seemed to truly appreciate the kindness shown to her. She quickly became attached to the man, following him around the house and rubbing against his legs. There was something special about the way she looked at him, a mix of gratitude and trust that touched his heart. Little did the man know that this was just the beginning of a much bigger rescue story. The next day, to the man's complete surprise, the same cat returned to his house. This time, she wasn't alone. She had something precious in her mouth, one of her kittens. The man watched in amazement as the mother cat gently placed her baby inside his home. Without waiting for any reaction, she turned around and left quickly. The man stood there, stunned by what had just happened, but understanding began to dawn on him. Before he could fully process what was happening, the mother cat returned again with another kitten. One by one, she made several trips back and forth, each time bringing another one of her babies to the safety of the man's home. Her determination was incredible to witness. Despite how tired she must have been, she continued her mission until all her kittens were safely brought inside. The man realized something remarkable was happening. This mother cat had remembered his kindness from the day before. She had decided that his home was the safest place for her precious family. The level of trust she placed in him was both humbling and moving. She had chosen him to help protect what was most important to her, her baby. Once all the kittens were gathered together, the mother cat found a quiet corner where she arranged them comfortably. The man, touched by her trust, brought over some fresh water and a generous portion of cat food. The exhausted mother needed to regain her strength after all her hard work. She ate hungrily while keeping a watchful eye on her kittens, who were now sleeping peacefully in their new shelter. After resting for a while, the man noticed dark clouds gathering outside again. The weather forecast predicted more heavy rain, and he grew concerned about the health of the newly arrived cat family. He decided it would be best to have them checked by a professional to make sure they were all healthy. Carefully, he gathered the mother cat and all her kittens, placed them in a carrier, and headed to the nearest veterinary clinic. At the clinic, the vet examined each kitten thoroughly, checking their eyes, ears, and overall condition. The mother cat watched nervously but remained calm, seemingly understanding that they were being helped. After the examination, the vet smiled and gave the good news that all the kittens were healthy and in good condition despite having been born outdoors. On the way home from the clinic, the man drove slowly through his neighborhood. His eyes now seemed more attuned to spotting animals in need. To his surprise, he noticed more stray kittens playing near the roadside and hiding under plants in various yards. Some were barely visible, tucked away beneath bushes for protection. This made him realize how many homeless cats there actually were in his area, a problem he had never fully noticed before. The sight of these strays strengthened his resolve to help not just the family he had taken in, but to perhaps do more for the local cat population in the future. Arriving back home, the man gently carried the carrier inside and opened its door in a quiet room he had prepared for them. The mother cat cautiously stepped out first, surveying the area to ensure it was safe before allowing her kittens to follow. The man had set up a comfortable bed with soft blankets, food and water bowls, and a litter box in a corner. Everything was ready for them to settle in. What happened next was something the man hadn't considered. He already had other rescue cats living in his home, and he wasn't sure how they would react to the newcomers. As the new cat family emerged from the carrier, his resident cats approached with natural curiosity. There were a few moments of tension as the mother cat stood protectively in front of her kittens, her tail slightly puffed. To the man's relief, there was no hissing or fighting. Instead, his other rescue cats seemed to welcome their new friends with gentle approaches and curious sniffs. Perhaps they somehow understood that these were fellow cats in need, just as they once had been. One of his older cats even approached a kitten and gently groomed its head, a sign of acceptance that warmed the man's heart. Soon the mother cat relaxed, realizing there was no threat to her babies. She allowed herself to settle down in the cozy bed the man had prepared. Her kittens, now feeling secure, began to explore their new surroundings with typical kitten curiosity, though never straying too far from their mother's watchful eye. The man observed with joy as the kittens played, tumbled, and discovered their new safe haven. As evening approached, the mother cat gathered her kittens close and began to nurse them. The scene was peaceful and filled with natural beauty, a mother caring for her young ones in a safe environment. Meanwhile, the man prepared food for his other cats, who ate contentedly nearby. The home was now filled with the gentle sounds of purring and the occasional playful mew of a kitten. The man sat quietly, watching the scene unfold before him. He felt a deep sense of satisfaction knowing he had provided refuge for this family in need. What had started as a simple act of kindness during a rainstorm had turned into something much more meaningful. He had gained the trust of a mother cat so completely that she had chosen him as the protector of her most precious possessions, her children. The mother cat thrived under his care. Her coat became shinier, and she gained a healthy weight. She grew increasingly comfortable in the home, eventually allowing herself moments of relaxation and play when her kittens were sleeping. She and the man developed a special bond, built on the foundation of trust she had shown in bringing her babies to him. The man's perspective on animal rescue had changed profoundly. What had once been a distant concept was now his lived reality. He began to research more about the stray cat problem in his community and discovered that many organizations needed foster homes for cats and kittens. Although his home was currently full with his new charges, he made plans to volunteer his time and resources once the kittens were grown. He also learned about trap-neuter return programs that humanely reduce stray cat populations. The man contacted local animal welfare groups to learn how he could participate in these efforts. He wanted to help prevent other cats from living the harsh life on the streets that his mother cat had experienced before finding him. The man often reflected on the rainy day when the mother cat had first appeared at his door. How different his life would have been if he had chosen not to open it. A simple act of compassion had enriched his life immeasurably and had saved multiple lives in the process. The mother cat's trust in him had been a precious gift, one he promised never to betray. The story of the mother cat and her kittens spread among the man's friends and neighbors. Some came to visit the growing cat family, and through these interactions, more awareness was raised about the importance of animal rescue. A neighbor even decided to adopt a cat from the local shelter after seeing the joy these animals brought to the man's life. The man knew that not every stray cat would be fortunate enough to find a safe home like his mother cat had, but he was determined to make a difference, one cat at a time. By sharing his story, supporting local rescue efforts, and providing a loving home to cats in need, he hoped to inspire others to do the same. The mother cat had not only found shelter from the rain, she had also helped create a ripple effect of compassion that would benefit many more animals in the future. Looking at the faces of the mother cat and her kittens, now happily settled in their forever home, the man felt a deep sense of gratitude. What had begun as an act of kindness during a storm had become a life-changing experience. In helping these cats, he had discovered a purpose and joy he hadn't known was missing. The mother cat's trust had not been misplaced. She had found not just shelter, but a true home where she and her babies would always be safe, loved, and protected.